Their in-game assets become valuable across a much larger ecosystem.
Okay.
Imagine your Goat Tapper character.
Yeah.
With all your cool items and traits,
Mm-hmm.
moving to a completely different metaverse experience.
That's mind-blowing.
It's
Yeah.
like taking your favorite video game character
Yeah.
and bringing them to life in a whole new universe.
That's wild.
And that kind of interoperability would make Goat Tapper's assets even more valuable.
Right.
Players and investors would be all over it.
Yeah, it's like you're owning a piece of the future of gaming.
In a way, yeah. But we got to remember, this is all still super early.
Right.
The metaverse is still being built.
Yeah.
There are a lot of challenges ahead.
That's a good point. We don't want anyone listening
No.
to get caught up in the hype and just
It's all potential right now.
jump in without thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into Goat Tapper, what are the big takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
Well, first and foremost, Goat Tapper is this really cool mix of gaming and investment.
Okay.
You can be part of this growing ecosystem
Yeah.
where your skills and how much you play could actually lead to real-world value.
It's like you said before, it's more than just entertainment.
Exactly. It's about ownership, community, and potentially being part of something revolutionary.
But we can't forget the gaming token market is still very young and volatile.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Always do your research, understand the risks, and be smart about how much you invest.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
That's the golden rule of investing.
All right, so with all that in mind, is Goat Tapper worth your time and tokens?
Well, that's up to our listeners to decide.
Yeah.
We've given them the info, the insights, and a good look at the potential risks and rewards. Now they got to do their own digging and figure out if Goat Tapper fits their goals and how much risk they're willing to take.
You know, it's funny. I was just thinking about something you said earlier about those early Bitcoin investors.
Yeah.
The ones who saw the potential before it went mainstream.
Right.
It makes me wonder if Goat Tapper could be on a similar path.
It's definitely a gamble,
Yeah.
but it is an interesting thought.
It's a good parallel, right? Blockchain gaming is still in its early stages.
Yeah, just like crypto was back then.
Just like cryptocurrency was.
Yeah.
So it's full of opportunity, but also a lot of unknowns.
Exactly.
All right, so to wrap things up, we have a final question for you to think about.
Okay, hit me.
Imagine a world where all your virtual stuff has real value that you can take with you
Oh, wow.
to different games and experiences. Is that the future Goat Tapper's trying to build?
That's a great question.
What do you think?
Well, gaming, finance, and VR, they're all starting to blend together.
Yeah.
Who knows what the future holds? But one thing's for sure, it's going to be exciting to watch it unfold.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Goat Tapper and the world of blockchain gaming.
Thanks for having me.
We hope this has given you all the info you need to keep exploring on your own. Until next time, happy gaming and happy investing.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new project, but you got to remember the risks.
So what are some red flags our listeners should look out for when they're looking at Goat Tapper or any gaming token, really?
Well, a big one is a lack of transparency from the developers.
Okay.
You want to see if they're communicating their plans clearly.
Right.
Do they have a detailed roadmap that's easy to find?
Makes sense.
Another red flag is if they're over-promising and under-delivering.
Right.
Like if they make these huge claims without anything solid to back them up.
Yeah, be careful of those.
Yeah, exactly. And lastly, pay attention to the community.
Okay.
Is it active and engaged, or does it feel kind of fake and manufactured?
Yeah.
A real, passionate community, that's a good sign.
It is. It's a good indicator. So it sounds like doing your research is really important.
Oh, absolutely.
Due diligence before you jump into anything.
For sure.
But for our listener who's specifically interested in Goat Tapper, what are some of the key things about their tokenomics that they should understand?
Well, one of the big things with Goat Tapper is that they're really focused on sustainability.
Okay.
They've designed their system to ensure that the rewards, the token circulation, and the asset rarity are all aligned for long-term growth.
So they're not just trying to make a quick buck,
Exactly.
get people hyped up, and then disappear.
Right. They're trying to build something that lasts.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You want a game that's going to be around for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another important thing is that they focus on skill-based rewards.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So if you're actually good at the game, you get rewarded for it.
Right.
And that encourages competition and keeps people engaged.
So it's not just about luck or chance.
They gotta have skills.
You have to actually be good at the game.
Yeah, and that makes it more fun.
It does. It adds another layer of depth. Okay.
We can't forget about the decentralized ownership model.
Right. Right.
That's really important. Players have actual control over their assets.
And that's a big difference from traditional gaming.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's tie all this back to that metaverse potential we talked about earlier.
Okay.
How could Goat Tapper's success in the gaming world translate to success in the metaverse?
Well, it all comes down to interoperability.
Right.
If they can seamlessly integrate with other platforms and virtual worlds, their assets could become really valuable.
Okay.
Imagine taking your Goat Tapper character with all its unique traits and items and just moving it to a different metaverse experience.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
that would be pretty amazing.
It would. And that kind of interoperability would make Goat Tapper's assets even more desirable to players and investors.
Right.
But we got to be realistic. This is all still very early. The metaverse is still being developed, and there are a lot of challenges to overcome.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
We don't want our listeners to get caught up in all the hype.
No, definitely not.
There's potential, but it's still early days.
Right. It's important to be cautious and do your own research before making any decisions.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into Goat Tapper, what are the key takeaways our listeners should walk away with?
I think the biggest takeaway is that Goat Tapper is this unique blend of gaming and investment. It's a chance to get involved in this growing ecosystem where your skills and your time can actually turn into real-world value.
Right. It's not just about having fun anymore.
Exactly.
It's about ownership, community, and maybe even being a part of something revolutionary.
Right.
But we got to be real, though.
Yeah.
The gaming token market, it's still so new and unpredictable.
Oh, absolutely. Do your research, understand the risks,
Right.
and only invest what you can afford to lose.
Yeah, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right?
That's a good rule for any investment.
So, with all that said,
Yeah.
is Goat Tapper really worth your time and tokens?
At the end of the day, that's for our listener to decide.
Right.
We've given them all the info, the insights. We talked about the risks and the rewards. Now it's up to them to do their own research and see if Goat Tapper really fits their goals and how much risk they're comfortable with.
It's funny, you were talking about those early Bitcoin investors,
Yeah.
ones who saw the potential before anyone else did.
Right.
It makes you wonder if Goat Tapper could be on a similar trajectory.
It's a gamble, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an interesting thought.
Yeah, because blockchain gaming is still in its early stages.
Yeah, just like crypto was back in the day.
Exactly. It's full of opportunity, but there are also a lot of unknowns.
That's the truth.
So to wrap things up, here's one last question for you all to think about.
Okay.
Imagine a world where all your virtual items actually have real-world value, and you can take them with you to different games and experiences. Is that the future that Goat Tapper is trying to create?
It's an exciting idea, that's for sure. I mean, gaming, finance, VR, it's all blending together.
Yeah.
It's really anyone's guess what will happen,
Right.
but it's going to be fun to watch it all unfold.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Goat Tapper and the world of blockchain gaming.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope we've given you enough information to continue your own exploration. Until next time, happy gaming and happy investing.